All right, next guest, let's bring him in. Top-ranked American, so many years inside the top 10, former semifinalist at Wimbledon. We think he's on a layover right now. Let's get John Isner back on second serve. Always pumped to have him in. There he is, John, Jeff here, Vicky Duvall, Nick Monroe. I heard you're at, are you in DIA? I feel like that's the worst airport.
Is that what Denver is called? Then yes, DIA. Yeah, I'm here. I don't spend much time here at this airport, but yeah, it's super long, right? It's just like
the tram.
Crazy.
You gotta take
one
the
massive.
tram.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I didn't know DIA is. That doesn't.
I went to Boulder, so I remember.
Yeah,
I just remember.
I guess this guy wouldn't know.
What do you got?
John, thanks for taking the time. I know I think you said you're on the way to Montana, lovely Montana. We're watching
Wyoming.
Wyoming. Sorry, I messed that up already.
Get it right.
Yeah, no, I messed that up already. We're watching Alex Mickelson play here. You know, while we're watching this match, maybe give us a little insight here into what you think about Alex Mickelson and his game and how it tailors to the grass, but also Mute.
Yeah.
Mute's been playing unreal this week.
Yeah. I actually played both of these guys on grass my last year on tour in Newport. I played Mute. He was an absolute maniac on the court. I think he tried an underhand serve on break point. Yeah, behind the back. That's what it was. It's made its way on social media. But he wasn't that good that day. But Alex beat me in the semifinals. I think Alex's game on grass, and there's a reason why he's in the semifinals right now. Of course, he has a good chance to come back. I know he's down a break, but not a huge deal for him. He's got a great game on grass, and it's only going to continue to get better as his serve gets better. I know that's something he's putting a lot of emphasis into. So for being a big kid, every bit of 6'4", I would imagine, his serve has many levels to go. So when he improves that, his game is going to keep on going up. But his backhand especially is so solid and so compact on the grass. And he's got good sort of intangibles. He knows how to move. He knows how to sneak in and get behind balls. And he's got tidy little volleys too. It's a lot of stuff that he's just sort of always had, and will continue to improve.
We were watching Corentin Moutet yesterday as well. We were trying to figure out how to beat this guy. What was the game plan against him? Because he's got so many shots.
Yeah, I mean, he sucked that day, truthfully. It wasn't like he's a lot better now than he is then. But I enjoyed playing little guys because I just felt like I could. Yeah. It was hard to break me if you were little guys on grass too. So, but no, he's certainly very handy, playing incredible tennis now. This was 2 years ago, so he's a much different player now.
John,
it looks hot as crap there, huh?
Man, it's been like 92 to 95 degrees every day. It's been insane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to make you answer this question for the 15 millionth time, probably, but obviously you
I know where you're going, Vicky.
Yeah, you know exactly where I'm going. You had your multi-day marathon match with Nico Mahut.
Yeah.
Tell us what that moment is like now in hindsight as well, and what it was like playing that
match. The moment once I won, as you can see, I was elated to win. It was wasn't so much that I won; it was that the match was over. I was happier that the match was over than I actually won the match. It sucked to be a part of, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. It was brutal. It took its toll on me, of course, physically, like mentally as well, having to answer a lot of questions about that match, and rightfully so. Like in 2010, after that match ended, in 2011, 12, I just answered a lot of questions, but it kind of wore on me a little bit mentally. But insane match to be a part of. You never in a million years can imagine yourself, being a part of a match like that. And there's a lot of stuff we did wrong, both of us, of course. But I think the main reason is we didn't give an inch. No one there's no gamesmanship. No one took any injury timeouts. No one tried to stall or do anything. And we went out there and we competed. And, and looking back on it, it's really cool to be a part of. But during the course of the 11 hours, it was awful.
John, I got to ask you, how did the body feel that next day? Because a 0 to 10, how did it feel?
It was, if you can go lower than a 0, that's what it was. and so after the match, I was like, it's so much adrenaline, right? Like during the course of the match, and even after the match, I told my coach, I told CB, I'm like, I think I'm going to be all right for my second round match. Like I feel surprisingly well. I mean, at this point, I was young. I was 20, just turned 25 years old. I was youngish, and I thought I'd be able to recover well. But once I woke up that morning, I knew I was in a world of hurt. Like, my feet hurt. I didn't have like an injury, not like an actual injury, but it just super sore, and like my neck more than anything. Like I couldn't, and as you guys play tennis, like if you can't, like, you have a crick in your neck, that's rough if you're trying to play tennis. I had that going, so I couldn't really turn or anything like that. So I was a mess. I mean, my second round match is the only match my whole career I didn't hit a single ace.
That's wild. Yeah, that's wild.
At Wimbledon. Mm-hmm.
It's great to have you on, John, because we've got the chance to work with Stevie as well as Sam Querrey a lot here, and we know you did work with us calling matches and as well as TC Live. In a way, I feel like the podcast you guys have, which is great, we all love it. It's almost like filling a void that tennis had, where you get like recently retired guys and it's been a lot of fun listening to you guys, and you're a great listen on calling the matches. Did you actively think when your career was winding down that maybe like, I don't know what we want to call it, but like just TV or content creator was something that you might have wanted to dip into?
Content creator. I don't know about that.
I think that's Sam Querrey. Sam Querrey is content creator.
There you go.
Yeah. That's Sam Querrey, right? I mean, he's got no shame. That's Querrey. Please don't call me a content creator. I'm not that creative.
You got it.
I do like the TV side of it. Truthfully, if it was one of those things, if I lived in California, I would be calling up Tennis Channel every day to be in y'all's seat right now.
Yeah.
But I'm a little far away, so it's not quite as easy. Of course, love doing work for Tennis Channel. I would hope that I can be a part of Tennis Channel's team for many years to come in some way, shape, or form. But the podcast has, if you hit a nail on the head, it has filled a void for sure.
Yeah.
And we've enjoyed it. Always told myself I would never be the retired athlete that starts a podcast, because that's so cliche. Yeah. Clearly did not hold myself to it, but we have a lot of fun. It's a good way to obviously stay in touch with my friends, and we talk about it. We come up with ideas. But I think most importantly, it helps us stay relevant, because unless you're an all-time great in our sport, which I'm definitely not, you are quickly forgotten in my mind. Yeah. So I think we kind of struck while the iron was a little bit hot, and so it kind of keeps us relevant. We pop up on everyone's feeds on social media, and I think some opportunities have come my way because of the podcast, and the same goes for all of us. So it's been a great investment for all of us, especially for our time, and look forward to continue to grow Nothing Major.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Nothing Major all the time, and the hottie draw, all that kind of stuff you guys did was really cool. I'm sure that was Sam Querrey's idea, wasn't it? For sure.
Yeah. Of course, that was all Sam. He brought up we're about to release Fridays. We record our Friday episode like a little bit, not on Friday. We record it just right before, and we're about to release it. And he has an idea for another segment that it's in today's pod. It'll come out. We're not cutting it.
Okay.
And he thinks we could pull off a women's event
for
hottie draw.
Hottie draw.
And I'm like,
Sam,
man, I don't know. He's like, I think we could do it. What's the worst that could happen? And Stevie goes,
Let me think.
The show ends. I don't know.
The show ends.
It's pretty funny. Sam, he's got a lot of ideas, and some of them suck, some are awesome. So that's why we love having him.
Well, John,
he's hilarious.
John, since we're looking at men's tennis here, and got to ask you about I guess the French Open final and Alcaraz Center, what they did, but kind of moving into the grass, do you feel like those two guys are just so much above the rest of the field on grass, or do you feel like there's some other players that have a chance to come up against those two guys?
Well, I would say Sinner's results on grass wouldn't necessarily indicate that he is head and shoulders above everyone on the surface, but I've said that it's a small sample size. I played him in Wimbledon, I think in 2022, the year they didn't have points, whatever year that was, right? Didn't have ranking points. I think it was 22. And I thought he was so good on grass. I believe that grass can be his best surface. Wow. Just because how well he moves. He can slide in and out of the corners on grass. Having said that, Carlos certainly is the man to beat, having won the tournament twice. But I don't think it's those two versus the field like it was at the French Open, because I think Novak should very much be in that conversation. In my mind, this is maybe Novak's last best chance to win a slam, and maybe I feel like he's thinking that as well. So he's going to be so dialed in. I think Novak deserves to be in the conversation with those two. And I saw the draw. He's not in the quarter. With one of those two. I think he's in Jack Draper's quarter.
Where do you see Jack Draper? Novak and Jack there.
If that match comes to fruition, I still favor Novak.
Okay.
I give Novak's my pick to win Wimbledon.
Wow.
Oh my.
Wow. Like it. Throwing it out there.
I like that.
Sweet. Yeah, he's my pick to win. He's not the odds maker's favorite. It's Carlos, then it's Sinner, and rightfully so. But Novak's still got some juice left, and I think this is his last best chance, and he might think that as well.
Yeah. Wow. 25. He's calling it. What do you got?
Speaking of Novak, you've played against the big four: Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray. Who was the toughest one for you to play, and why?
That's a good question. I think at their absolute peak, I would say Novak, when he was Novak completely locked in. I would say Novak. And then after that, probably, God, they're all so ridiculously good. I played Rafa a bunch on clay, which is not fun. Roger can neutralize big servers with that chip return that he does so well that you guys know. So he wasn't fun to play. He was awesome to play against because you're playing on center court, but so tough to beat. I think it's the answer for me is Novak when he's fully dialed in. I played him in, I've told this story before, I played him in Beijing. No one ever talks about, he's 25-0 in his career at that tournament. So he was like this legendary record in the Beijing event. And I played him in the quarterfinals in a night match, and the weather turned crazy cold. And that was one of the few times I took the court and absolutely knew I had no chance to win because he was just too good at that event and I wasn't going to get any 3 points. He beat me 2-2 in the quarterfinals at Beijing when he was fully locked in. So that level of tennis, I think, was the best I've ever played against.
Wow. Mute up a break against Mickelson in Mallorca, and now Brooksby up 3-love, 1 break against Humbert in Eastbourne. You guys had a hilarious bit on Nothing Major about European hotel rooms or foods or something like that. We got a little unofficial poll here. Did you get down on the full English breakfast, baked beans early in the morning? You ever grab that?
Dude, that's hilarious you brought that up. We did on today's episode, which comes out.
There you go.
Today's Friday, right? Comes out Friday. We did a UK pet peeve segment. And Sam Query brought up the English breakfast and how overrated it is. And I gotta say, I kind of agree. Who wants baked beans?
I love baked beans I love it. It's a good change up because I only do it in London.
So soupy.
Dude. Slick. You're from the Midwest, dude. You're a barbecue guy. The baked beans goes with the barbecue.
It goes with the barbecue, I know. But I just like to change it up in London.
Can't even look at this
change it up for my breakfast burrito.
I hear you. But it doesn't no, I'm out on that. I eat everything. But we did a UK pet peeve segment, and that particular dish made the cut for sure.
What was your breakfast? What would you eat in the morning before a match?
Oh, I would always make breakfast, especially because I was in a house at Wimbledon. But whether or not at Wimbledon or not, I would just have 3 or 4 eggs, an English muffin, and cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese.
Nice.
It's full of, that's healthy, really healthy, good stuff like that. So I'm a big guy, I got to fuel up.
Well, to piggyback off of that, what would you eat in the mornings to kind of get ready for your matches? We were speaking with a guy, Oliver Tarvey, earlier today. He got through qualifying. He's going to be going back for his senior year at University of San Diego. So we're talking about how college tennis, the level is so high. Yeah, he was a wild card, ranked 700 in the world. British player, amazing. So you obviously went to college, had an amazing career. What advice would you give to juniors or players that are coming up through the rankings and trying to make it onto the pro circuit or to make it up in the junior rankings as well?
Yeah, I think going to college is a very viable option, and I think a lot of players have proven that out. Maybe, Nick, you can attest this a little bit. Maybe 20 to 30 years ago, a lot of times it was looked at as going to college was sort of like a death sentence for playing pro tennis, and this applies to the women's side with all their amazing players, Emma Navarro, Danielle Collins, that immediately come to mind. I know I'm missing a bunch of players that had great careers in college, Diana Schneider at NC State, but also on the men's side with Ben Shelton, and then you see a player who's still competing in college.
Yeah, he's going back
for
to
Wimbledon.
Senior.
It's incredible, and at a rather small school too.
Yeah.
So the top level college tennis is every bit, in my mind, as good as at least challenger level tennis in pros. And so you can sort of sharpen your craft up in college without being on the pro tour at 18 or 19 years old. I think can pay you big dividends when you do decide to go pro as you mature mentally and physically. So there's no hurry in my mind to go pro at 18. Because players on both sides, the women's and men's side, can play into their mid-30s easily. So I think investing in at least maybe 2 or 3 years in college can do you very well.
As someone who led American men's tennis for so long, how do you feel about the current crop of players? And also, if you were to pick one American on the men's side, which one excites you the most?
That's a good question, Vicky. American men's tennis is in a great spot. Obviously, everyone knows about the top 4 players in Fritz, Paul, Francis, Ben Shelton, top 10 in the world. And then you have Sebi Korda, who kind of flies under everyone's radar. He's been a bit hurt. He's not playing Wimbledon this year. And then 2 people that completely fly under everyone's radars are the one we're watching right now, Alex Mickelson and Brandon Nakashima. So there's a ton of great talent. That's 6 players in the top 30 in the world, I believe, almost in the top 30 in the world. So it's in very good hands. But I think the one that probably excites me the most is the one he's not flying under anyone's radar. It's Ben Shelton. I mean, his game is just so huge. He might have take some early first round losses, which we saw in Queens and we saw in Mallorca to Lerner Tien, but he picks up his level when the stage is big. So I expect him to play very well at Wimbledon. And once he can sort of get his feet wet in a tournament, he's a crazy tough out because he plays with such flair and with such confidence, and he has such a big game. His serve's ridiculous, and he's so athletic. I think Ben Shelton, in my mind, is the guy that has probably the best chance to break through in a huge event like Wimbledon in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, and we're hoping. We saw him limping a little after that loss to Lerner Tien.
Yeah.
He's got the qualifier, Alex Bolt, in the first round.
I did not see that, but he's a beast physically.
Yeah.
I see him recovering. He's just sort of built perfectly.
Yeah.
Looks like he could squat 400 pounds. I mean, he could be a tight end in the NFL if he chose to go to football. So it's awesome that he's playing tennis. So we have an athlete like that's playing tennis, because he would have had a lot of options had he chose any other sport.
Speaking of other sports, because we know you're a sports fan in general, but right now it's a slow time for sports. All we got is MLB. How are you getting your fix? Is it NBA draft, NFL offseason? What's your fanhood like?
Pickleball.
It's no, gosh, no. I don't mind pickleball. I don't mind pickleball, but I don't. No. You got it's the NHL draft is tonight, so that'll occupy a lot of my time. I'm an NHL nut. I play fantasy baseball.
Okay. Oh, so you're
and that's a good bridge from when hockey ends to when football starts.
Wow.
Have focus on fantasy baseball. I'm in a league with Marty Fish, Daniel Nestor, Ryan Harrison. It's like a big tennis league. I'm missing some names as well. So we play fantasy baseball, and that sort of helps occupy the time during these tough. Because once Wimbledon ends, it's dry. The sports calendar is pretty bare. So, yeah, I think fantasy baseball helps.
Wait, Nestor said there might have been drama, or was it with Andy Murray with paying up the dues? Is everyone all straight away with the? Maybe Jimmy said that.
That was fantasy hoops, which I don't participate in, and apparently Andy Murray, the wealthiest guy of the whole league, of course, he's like the hardest one to get the $100 entry fee from.
$100.
Can't find him. They can't find him when it comes to $100.
That's right, exactly.
John, we're looking down here at the stat, most aces in ATP history. There's so many accolades that you have, but what are you most proud of in your tennis career that really you can hang your hat on?
Yeah, I think that's a cool one. I actually quite like that stat. I don't know. I think maybe GMP could be one that could break it if he has a long career. Pesci Pericard. I don't see Riley breaking it. He's missed too much time, so that one could be in danger with Pericard as he gets older. But the ace thing's pretty cool. Goran Ivanisevic always used to tell me that the beginning of his career, the ATP didn't tally aces, so he should have a lot more than 2,237.
So he's basically I'm ahead of you.
Maybe not ahead, but he probably should be number 3.
Okay.
According to Goran. But no, I don't know. I think my longevity. I was very professional and stayed healthy for a long time, which allowed me to and have produced pretty solid results for a very long time. So I was very disciplined and taking care of my body, which was critical. So when you're almost 7 feet tall, I mean, look at Riley; he's had a lot of injuries, and he's very disciplined as well.
Yeah,
doesn't mean you're going to always stay healthy. It's just a lot of stuff can pop up when you're so big. So I did a good job of taking care of myself, and it served me well for a long time.
Speaking of serving well, I know sometimes when I watched you play, you didn't get broken very often, but sometimes you did. And I was just curious what that mindset was like, because I would imagine when you go up to the line, you're probably thinking, I'm not going to get broken on my serve. So when that did happen, what did it feel like? Was it scary?
Oh, no, it wasn't scary. It just was brutal, because I felt like oftentimes when I did get broken, it was probably more a product of it being my fault, maybe starting a match a little not ready to play. So oftentimes my opponents would choose to return, because they would maybe try to catch me as the match. I always chose to serve, but typically I was a pretty good starter. But I think most times when I got broken, it was probably something that I could have done better. And when I did get broken, oftentimes that means the set could be over, because I wasn't the best returner, as we know. So, and the same goes for my opponents, right? If I were able to get a break in a set, a lot of times the set was over. So, but I had supreme confidence in my serve. I think that's the reason why I held over 90%. Of course, obviously being so tall and having a nice motion, but I was very confident. It was one part of my game that I was always confident in. Every other part, nope. That's a lot of confidence. But the serve, I love the feeling of trying to serve out a set, serve out a match, or having the ball in my racket at 6-5 and a tiebreaker on my serve. I love that, and I really relish that moment.
John, it's going to be fun on second serve the week after Wimbledon. We're going to have Jack Sock sitting with us, and he's a good buddy of mine. I know he's an even better buddy of yours, and we're not really sure if we should ask him more pickleball questions or tennis questions, but you know him really well. Maybe give us a good Jack Sock story, because you're also working with him on the pod as well.
Well, we are working with Jack on the pod for sure. He's been awesome. It's been fun working with him, because you don't see him as much anymore. He's traveling a lot, doing the pickleball. I don't see Sam or Stevie that much in person, really. So Jack's great. I mean, one story. He's a good guy. We had so many good times in Davis Cup together.
And Laver Cup.
And Laver Cup. We had one time in Brisbane where we had our separate rooms, but we all had these really nice. This is Brisbane and Davis Cup, and we stayed in each other's rooms. Our rooms were so big, we were just hanging out at night. I might as well sleep here. My room was empty, and I would stay with him. So we just get along. We have a very, very good relationship like that, and so we're all four of us on the pod are really, really tight. That's why we did it. We wanted to work together, but it's good to see him. I think fill this tennis void with pickleball. I mean, he's bringing a lot of flair and excitement to the pickleball games. He's very, very good at it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and when I played doubles with him, I felt like he was the best doubles player in the world. And you played a lot of doubles with him as well. I mean, he would do some unreal things out there.
Yeah, when he was in full flight on the doubles court, he was the best doubles player in the world. But having said that, Nick, when you and I played together against Jack
and Vasek, and we took him out.
Him and Vasek in Miami.
First round Miami. Jack wasn't happy about that one. Jack wasn't happy about that.
No, rather easily. It was 4-3.
Yeah, it was a pretty routine win there for Isner and I.
Yeah, I think you and I made semis or quarters.
We did. We did. We were supposed to play Rafa the next round, but then Rafa pulled out. He didn't want to play us. We were too good.
Of course, yeah. He wanted no part of us.
It's amazing. You guys remember all the matches. We appreciate you taking time in your late. Is it too early for an airport beer? What is it? 10:40? I don't know. I feel like it's
Friday. Yeah, I'm not an airport beer guy. Can y'all do that? You see, there's no way. I don't know.
It depends on if we're flying to Vegas or whatnot. But yeah.
It's never. I can't. That's not my style. But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get some food. So.
All right, get some grub. Hey, we appreciate the time as always. Great time to catch up.
Thanks, Appreciate it, man. Travel safe.